Clark Michigan 475B was a large mining wheel loader that was produced in the 1970s. This model by BYMO comes in a fairly simple box, but it's good to see that there's a graphic about the real machine printed on the cover. Inside the box, the packaging is conventional. It consists of a couple of expanded polystyrene trays and it's factory sealed. After a quick swish of the blade, you can lift the lid and the model sits inside. To lift the model out, you need to be a little bit careful what you grab hold of because there are some fairly delicate parts on it. And there's no instructions for the model, but there is a bag containing a couple of small parts that have to be fitted. There was one small issue with the review model because there was a light missing from the top of the cab. But it always pays to look in the box because on this occasion the light had escaped and burrowed its way into the expanded polystyrene. Maybe it was a bit shy and didn't like daylight, but there's no escape from the claws of Cranes Etc. Talking of claws, we'll now try and fit this tiny part using the claws. But unfortunately that's a complete fail because the fingers are 1:1 scale. So what's needed is more skill, a pair of pliers, pops the light straight in, and why didn't you do that in the first place? There are two parts to fit, which are small plastic access ladders which just clip on at the bottom at the rear. It's not really clear why these parts weren't fitted in the factory, but I suppose at least it gives you the option of leaving them off if you don't want them. But one thing that's a slight problem is that they're not engineered very well, so they are extremely loose. And unless you fix them with glue or plastic putty, then they will drop off. Underneath, the modelling is on the simple side. There are big plastic plates. And although the axles are modelled after a fashion, there's no transmission. The chunky tyres look quite good, and the plastic wheels are also detailed, on the outside at least. But on the inside, the wheels are just plain discs, although that won't often be visible. Outside the engine cover there are plenty of handrails, and the Clark logo's been nicely rendered and painted. However, the plastic exhaust pipes don't have holes, so they don't look quite so good. At the rear, the radiator is a plastic moulding, but on the review model there was some poor workmanship with the black paint. But with a sharp modelling knife, that paint could be scraped off to produce an acceptable result. The cab is all plastic, but that does allow some finer detailing in the structure, although there's no windscreen wiper. Behind the cab, the struts and air cleaners look pretty good, but again they are plastic parts. Below the cab, the modelling is good because there are fine gauge hydraulic hoses and the transmission universal joint is visible. At the front, the double plated boom is modelled well and the painted rivets are a good touch. At the digging end of things, the big metal bucket is a reasonable casting with decent teeth. One of the things that is worth noting is the amount of plastic on the model, which includes all of the handrails and the area around the cab, but the colour match is pretty good, so it doesn't impair the look of the model. BYMO is a small German company and it was formed after the closure of a previous company called BRAMI. Probably its most successful models have been Bauer Foundation machines, but more recent models have been in development for many years, and that includes the Michigan 475B, which was first seen at Nuremberg in 2010. So let's go out into the Cranes Etc. quarry, and there the Michigan rolls along nicely. Picking the model up, and the good news is that there's quite a lot of oscillation possible in the rear axle, and it's good to see that the front axle is completely rigid. The wheels are fixed to common axles so they spin together, and the steering across the pivot point is good because it's quite stiff and you can get a decent angle, and the loader transits well in a curve. The other main feature of the model is the loader mechanism, and this has been engineered well too. The bucket tips up properly in a carrying mode, and the whole loader mechanism can be raised to a good height. A good job's been done with the hydraulic rams because although they're quite stiff, they can hold any pose that you want to set. And as you can see, the tipping angle on the bucket is very good. Okay, so let's head on over to the live test arena. And there we can see the big old Michigan loader driving into the rocks with relish. Using some manual hydraulics, the bucket tilts and grabs up some rocks. After driving round aimlessly for an hour, the wheel loader is back to tip its load. And for that we need to use some more manual hydraulics. As you can see, it fully empties the bucket, showing that the tipping angle is indeed very good. In summary, BYMO has produced a good looking model of a historic machine. The working features are engineered well and the detail is reasonable. But there is quite a lot of plastic on the model, although the colour match is reasonable. If you like models of historic mining machines, then this one is recommended.